Good day. So now I'm going to teach you definition of derivative. So in definition of derivative, we have four-step strategy. So first step, we are going to evaluate f of x plus h. Okay, so we are going to evaluate that. And then second strategy is we are going to subtract our f of x plus h with our original function. And then third one, from the difference of the two functions, we are going to divide by h. And then the fourth one, the last one, we are going to apply limit, okay, as h approaches 0 of this quotient. Okay. For first example, we have use definition of derivative to find f of x equals 2x. Okay. So use definition of derivative. Okay, so for this one, we are just going to follow these four steps. So in the first step, we're going to evaluate f of x plus h. Okay, so looking back at our original function, our x is 2x, so we're going to substitute that one with our x plus h. Okay, and then in that second step, we're going to subtract it with our f of x. So subtracting it, okay, so we will have 2x plus h minus 2x, okay, and then we'll proceed with the third one, with the third step in finding the quotient, okay, over h. So we are going to distribute this one, okay, 2 over x and h. So we will have 2x plus 2h minus 2x all over h, okay. And then in the fourth step, we are going to evaluate that using our limits as h approaches 0, okay. So as you can see, 2x and minus 2x will be 0. So what's left will be just 2h over h, okay? And h and h can be both divided by 1. So the answer will just be 2. And we cannot evaluate that with our h approaches 0 because there will be no more h. Which means our final answer would be f prime of x is equal to 2. So this is our final answer. Okay. We have f of x equals 3 minus 14x. Still, we are going to use definition of derivative. So in the first step, okay, we are going to evaluate f of x plus h, okay, which would be 3 minus 14x plus h, okay. And in our second step, we have f of x plus h minus f of x, which would be 3 minus 14 minus but 3 minus 14x. So in this part, we are going to use parentheses to emphasize this subtraction. Okay, so we can actually simplify in this part so that it can be easier in the next step. So we will have 3 minus 14x minus 14h, okay, 14x, 14h, minus 3 plus 14x, okay, negative and negative, but positive. So we will have 3 minus 3, that will be 0, 3 and negative 3, negative 14x and positive 14x, that will also give you 0. So what's left will be negative 14h. And now let's proceed with the third step. Third step is we are going to divide the difference with our h. Okay, so we have negative 14h in our numerator divided by h. So what's left will be negative 14. So if we are going to evaluate our limit as h approaches 0 with a negative 14, of course the answer will be still negative 14. Okay? Okay, in our third example, we are going to find the derivative of this, okay, using the definition. Okay? So what makes it different from our previous example is we're going to have t as our variable here instead of x. Okay? But that will not be a problem. Okay? So let's start with our first step. We're going to evaluate f of x plus h. But instead of x, we're going to use t. Okay? T plus h. Okay. So it would be 10 plus 5 t plus h. Okay? Minus t plus h squared, because we have t here. It would be t plus h squared. Okay, we can actually try to... Okay, turn na lang. Second one, we're going to find the difference between t plus h and f of t, our original function. So it will be 10 plus distribute, we will have 5t plus 5h. Okay, my t looks like plus. Okay, minus, we will have t squared minus 2th plus h squared. Okay, we're not doing that. Minus our original function, which is 10 plus 5t minus t squared. Okay, let's simplify this one out. Okay, so that we can remove these parentheses. So this we will still have that. Okay, let's remove the parentheses right away. So the signs will be changed. So we will have minus t squared, and this will be plus 2th, and this will also be minus h squared, minus 10 minus 5t plus t squared. Okay, so as you can see, we have 10 and negative 10, so that will be 0 already. We have positive 5t and negative 5t, that will also be 0. 5h, okay. Negative t squared and positive t squared, so that will be 0. 2th, negative h squared, okay. So what's left are, we have 5h plus 2th minus h squared. Okay. So in the third step, we're going to divide our difference by h. So we will have 5h plus 2th minus h squared all over h. Okay. So we can actually simplify this one out. So you can actually distribute this denominator h so that it will be less ambiguous for you. So we will have, you can see it as 5h over h plus 2th over h minus h squared over h. Okay, something like that. Still copy the sign. So we will have h, so there will be an h left. So what's left will be 5 plus 2t minus h. Okay, so now we are going to apply limits for that. So our limit as h approaches 0 for this function over h would be 5 plus 2t minus h. Actually, I can write. We can have that as 5 plus 2t minus h equals. So we will have 0h here. So what's left will be 5 plus 2t. And that will be our final answer. 5h plus 2t. Okay, I actually have a short mistake here. This actually, wait, this should have been t squared plus 2th, okay? So this will be negative here, okay? This will be negative, negative, negative. So we will have 5 minus 2t as our final answer. Pardon for that. As an example, we have f of x equals to x cubed minus 1. So if you want to try out how to use to finish the derivative, you can actually pause this one out. Okay. So I'm assuming you're done. Okay, let's start. By watching it with our function, you can see that we have a cubic function here. Okay, we have a cubic equation function. Okay, so let's start. So in our first strategy, we're going to evaluate still f of x plus h. So it would be 2 times x plus h cubed minus 1. Okay. So the second strategy, we are going to subtract it with our original function. Okay, so we can actually expand x plus h cubed. Okay, so I'm going to teach you some technique. Are you familiar with the classical triangle? So I'm going to teach you how to use this one. So we will start with 1, and then we will have 1 and 1 on both sides. 1 plus 1. You are going to write that in between, so it will be 2, and then 1 in the outside. 1 plus 2, 3, 2 plus 1, 3, and then we will have 1. And you might be asking me, what am I doing? Okay, so what I'm doing right now is I'm going to find out the possible coefficients for x plus h cubed. Okay, so here we're going to use this when our exponent is 0. And here when our exponent is 1, when our exponent is 2, and when our exponent is 3. So fortunately, we're going to use this. Okay? This is how it works. So we will start with 1 as our coefficient, so we're not going to write that. It's understandable that we have 1. So we're going to have here x cubed, and then h 0. H to the power of 0. Actually, you can observe the pattern later on. Okay? Next, we will have plus. We don't have any problem with signs because it is plus. So plus, we will have 3 as our numerical coefficient. And then we will have x squared h 1. Okay, let me write that. So as you can see, the exponent of our x is actually decreasing, and the exponent of our h is increasing. Okay, so next we will have 3 x h squared, okay, and then lastly we will have plus, we will have 1 numerical coefficient, and then we will have x0 h cubed. Okay, so that's how it works. Okay, so I'm going to erase our Pascal triangle here. It will serve as your guide so that you can get rid of x plus h, what will be the product of that, and then I'm going to multiply with x plus h. It's very tiresome for me. Okay, right? Okay, so we will have minus 1. Okay, we're going to simplify this one now. Okay, so still we have 2, we will have x cubed, h to the power of 0 is 1. Okay, so plus 3x squared h plus 3x h squared plus h cubed minus 1. Next, I'm going to distribute. Okay, so I have to I forgot to write this part minus f of x. So we will have minus 2x cubed minus 1, which is our original function. Okay. So now I'm going to distribute 2 for each term. Okay. So we will have 2x cubed plus 6x squared h plus 6x h squared plus h cubed minus 1. Okay, so we will have distribute the negative sign, minus 2x cubed plus 1. Okay, next we're going to simplify it more. So we have 2x cubed here and also negative 2x cubed, so that would be 0. 6x squared h and negative 1 plus 1. So what's left? We are going to write that in our third step. We are going to divide it by h. Okay, so what's left will be 6x squared h plus 6x h squared plus h cubed. Okay, all over h. So you can actually separate h for each term in the numerator if you don't want to be confused. Okay, so we have h and h. Okay, so that will be done. H and h, we will be left with 1h. And here, we'll be left with 2h or h squared. Okay, next we're going to evaluate our limits for this one as h approaches 0. So we will have 6x squared plus 6xh plus h squared. Okay, so this will be 0 and 0. So we have our final answer as 6x squared. Okay.